on? We're on. Welcome everybody. Today we are playing some more Dyson Sphere program. So let's get into it. Let me just put some music on real quick. It's a bit more like it. Okay, so last time we were working on a yellow science. So we got that all kicked off, and now we just got to get it over to the place where all the magic happens. Let's see. I think it's over this way. Yeah, cool. It is yeah, remarkably easy to lose track of what you're doing. Let's see. So yeah, I think I'm starting to run out of belts.
Flight mode.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't really help myself with all of my organization because I'm actually not taking notes during this particular part of it. Let's see, so belt that leads to nowhere. It's just full of iron. Okay, so that's going to need a more permanent solution at some point, but it's not a problem for today. Right. In the interim, however, let's see, is this all still ticking away? Yeah, it is. What's up with that? Okay, so it's a tier 1 inserter that's just not keeping up. Yeah. Stop! Just running back and forward. And we've got some power supply problems, probably because of all the extra stuff that I plugged in. So yeah, the planetary logistics is still chewing up a ton of power, which is yeah, just one of those yep, don't let your reach exceed your grasp sort of thing. Yeah, that whole scenario probably won't be helping either. So see if I can nick that out of there just to shortcut that a little bit. Bunch of belts in here as well, so I can go back in there.
Flight mode.
Running away from that like it owes me money. Okay, so now that's all happening, and all of the extra stuff that I switched on. So that will be a self-solving problem over time. So let's put a big frickin' belt in here. No, I'm not going far at all. Right, let's go over here and jeez, what's going on here? Okay, that might make the entire scenario a little bit more complicated. I wonder whether that can reach for an inserter. Okay, it can. Nobody panic. I wasn't scared. Okay, so one of the things we can do to make the power structure a little bit more robust is just to increase the capacity of the drones that are flying around that big catastrophe over there, because they are just sucking down a ton of power. So that's probably going to be our first port of call. Yeah, needed yellow science to get that all happening, so let's go with... Oh. So I'm not loving the science cost of any of this, to be honest, but gotta be done. And activate. Yeah, so this is probably going to suffer a whole bunch from the lack of power, because, yeah, oof. Yeah, and realistically, unless I ferry some over in my pockets, which I might very well end up doing, it's going to have some issues keeping up, because yeah, I just absolutely bet you that it's, yeah, that's what's causing it. It's just not keeping up. Yeah. Yeah, so it's not that the infrastructure itself isn't like there or anything like that. It's just that it's just not getting to where it needs to in a timely fashion. So just watch the power capacity skyrocket as a result. Sometimes it just gets itself into these like weird stall states. It's not something I love, but Pokemon music happening there. So that's basically peaked. So let's see if we can't make this a little bit more of a permanent solution. Not that I mind, you know, having to make a trip over it occasionally. It's just one of those like, well, I put in all of this infrastructure and it's not, you know, it's just not holding up. That's a quarter of the way done. It's being held up by a lack of just output product. Because it is running short on diamonds. I bet you I didn't connect that up. Yeah, sounds like something I'd do. Yeah, I was in a little bit of a rush because I was running late for class. Just jammed all of the ones that were in my pockets in there.
Flight mode.
So this is also going to be a little bit more of a drain on the power supply. But, yep, only way out is through. Go get him. Go get him, guys. Oh, and I still have diamonds in my pockets too. Lord. Okay, so that one should be fine for the time being. Okay. Frame rate drop. I love that. Yeah, low throughput also kind of sucks because it sort of inactivates some of the ones that are a bit further down the line.
Flight mode.
So let's see if we can't put a thumb on the scales a little bit.
Insufficient materials. Dark fog cluster is launching an assault.
Okay.
Flight mode.
It's always something to do. Oh god. Okay, that was a little bit of an oversight. Guys, out of ammunition. Nearly anyway. Right. Yeah, these attacks are ramping up in intensity pretty quick. So Must do something about that in a lasting fashion. Right. Okay. Problem solved for now, at least. So, what to do. Okay, so yeah, that's all ticking away. Let's see, should be done in a couple of minutes. Yeah, still not in love with the fact that it's taking so long, but okay. So last we saw, moving towards like integrated logistics. So this will let me upgrade the efficiency of the logistics system really significantly by introducing something called a piler. So as you might be able to guess, you can ramp up your production as much as you like, but it's still limited by the ability of the belt to transport that. And because I'm getting a little bit sick of like pocket crafting everything, what the hell's going on there? Right. Not quite out of that's here, but that's kind of annoying me. Let's see. I wonder how close we are to being out of titanium as well.
Flight mode.
So, not exactly something I put a lot of work into. Let's see, it's goes into titanium crystals here. Okay, so I've still got about 900 left. I think that's fine. Okay, so I need to get a setup for properly producing like belts and sorters, because I have been kicking that down the road a little bit.
Flight mode.
So it's kind of all happening over here right now. Usually I take a quick and dirty way of approaching this and just put down like one assembler, because I'm not utilizing the belts fast enough to really justify a full production line. But just as an example of like go big or go home, and I wonder if we can do this without significantly disrupting things from like a power perspective. Yeah. Let me see. So I've got all the ray receiver and solar cell sort of stuff all sorted. But yeah, that's sort of the way we're gonna solve that in a more lasting fashion. Beyond, like, this is great and all, I love it, but it is very much a supply bottleneck. So let me see, how are we dealing with that? So this is prism production that's sort of unplugged a little bit at the moment. So I wonder what that's doing. So unplug it and see. Right, so it's not actually powering anything. There's going to be a lot of that. So I don't think the prisms are really actively being used by anything except for the plasma exciter sort of line there. So let's just rip all of that out. I think we can do better. Yeah, this is yeah, very much the gameplay loop is figuring out how to do stuff better. I think this assembly's fine for now. Do I just put a distributor on that and move on with my life? Yeah, I think that'll scale better. I'm still going to have to rip it out and replace it with something a little bit better over the longer term, but this at least solves the problem that I'm having now. So, start loading stuff in here. Probably only need about 4 stacks. And that's glass distribute. Yeah. Oh, look at the voltage drop. So, to get solar sails, EM injectors and ray receivers happening, let's take a look at what we need for that. So solar sails require something I haven't got a assembly to make just yet, which is prisms, that thing I just ripped out, and circuit boards. So that makes, so it's 1-to-1, it makes 2 of those. They get chewed up pretty quick, and they get consumed by something called a rail ejector. So this is one of those times where I put in a very basic module for manufacture of that.
Flight mode.
And I'm going to put that in probably somewhere over here, because this little spit of land is not really doing a lot for me right now. So let's go for it's a 4-item assembler. Yep, that's it. Yeah, oof, that's going to get real messy real quick. Let's put that over there. And of course let's downgrade these. Depot missing there as well. Okay, so that's going to handle EM injectors. Requires steel.
Replication complete.
Cogs. Processors. And blue zoomies, which I think is something that I don't have like a production line for just yet. Yeah. Got like, you know, cute little nicknames for all the stuff. It's not really that cute, if I'm being honest. Okay, so what I need for these blue zoomers. So it's turbines, magnets and graphite. So predictably the graphite is somewhere over here. So as much as I'm loath to put in extra production facilities, especially considering all of, you know, this, I might have to. Because you use a surprising amount of these. They're kind of a core component for a lot of things. Right, so it's a 3-item. So let's get the graphite side of things sorted first. Oh, yeah. It's kind of hard, right? Because I think it'll get like the consistent voltage will get a little bit better once this sort of picks up, but so yeah, you wouldn't sort of think that the +5 drone capacity would do a lot in terms of bringing up the efficiency, but it really does. It's goes from, let me see.
Upgrade complete.
Okay, yep, thanks. With you so far. So yeah, it goes from 30 to 35, and that's, you know, it's 15%. Okay, you doing alright there? So, yeah. I don't think the solution to the problem I'm having is more drones either, because then you sort of get into this position where you're going, okay, so I get, so I need more drones to handle the throughput, but each of those drones is requiring more and more like power per drone. So you're sort of like the overhead is eating really heavily into your power surplus. So kind of sick of that being there as well, but not sick enough about it to do anything to remove it at this point, I think. Yeah. So yeah, without any intervention on my part, it's suddenly got a lot more consistent. And sure, it'll make these bad boys work a little harder, and it's still not like, yeah, like that's flattened out really significantly over the last minute. Loving it. I'm going to take a quick check over there at the moment because I wonder whether there's anything that's running dry. Okay, so I can see at least, yeah, I can see a couple. It's not really surprising to me. Is there anything connecting to it? Yeah, it does. Yeah, so it sort of gets into this position where it's loading as fast as it can, but that's still the speed of loading is impacted by the available voltage. So, so over the short term, I'm just going to add more sorters, and that'll at least load it in fast enough that it generates something of a surplus, even if it is not super efficient. So, yeah, I seem to have positioned that in such a way as that it hasn't aged particularly well. But once the overall network voltage comes up, then that should be something of a self-solving problem. Why are you not cooperating? Don't have the similar problem because they're not multiple stacked over there. Yeah, this is it's just sort of a problem that you tend to have when you're scaling up. Is that those little inefficiencies, like me not offsetting those properly, starts causing some little problems. Let's see, is that? Yeah, so there's a lot that's in transit.
Flight mode.
Is that mostly just the hash rate? Yeah, it's just the hash rate that's causing that to kind of be slow. And the fact that it's not using yellow science as well is causing a bit of a production backup here, which I'm totally fine with. It just gives me a little bit of breathing room. I'm gonna add a storage cache over here as well. So whenever you're doing something like this, you have to be careful that you're connecting them in the correct sequence so that it's not going in here and out here, because otherwise then you're sort of just causing its own little stable loop. And oh neat, we're already out of titanium. So yeah, that's going to bottleneck that something pretty fierce. So considering that, so overall I'm a lot happier about the way this is going, but yeah, I think carrier engine's going to be a necessary pickup. Maybe not next. I think I can think of better things to be researching. But yeah, reinforced thrusters on that list, but it's also requiring a much higher hash rate. So unless I want to be sitting around here all year, each let's see, where is it? Right.
Flight mode.
So got some nice vibrant colours happening here. Love to see it. So each one of these has a hash rate of, I think, a maximum of 60 hashes a second. Where are we at in terms of vertical construction? Vertical layers. Labs can go a total of 5. And splitters can go 3 high. 70% power dissipation. Let's see. So I think this is probably where we go next, is starting to get more into the like mech upgrades side of things. So I can't unlock extra like energy circuit and like cruising flight speed or anything until I've got the upgraded mech core. So back to solar cell production. So yeah, definitely need a more high output production facility for prisms over here. But I think that's sort of going to require me to move this over a little bit to properly make use of it. So let's start doing that now. So let's break that here. Be a decent opportunity to upgrade the belts associated with it as well. So if I can have that nestled in the corner, that'll be great. Missing tier 3 sorters, so let's drop that. And of course, it's done that. This is it's a slight problem associated with doing that in the way that I have, is that sort of painting with a very broad brush. Of course I'm out of sorters, so that'll do for now. The garbage will do for now. Yeah, copper's not a high throughput item at this stage of the game. You still need to have a production line for it, but it's not something you should really look to aggressively expand. It's a lot more relevant later. Yeah, copper in my experience is mostly used for defense manufacturing.
Insufficient materials.
Let's go like that. Cool. Okay, so now we've got a bit of space up our sleeve. So I'm happy with the peeling off that's happened there. So photon combiners. So I think I've got a belt of circuit boards somewhere around here. Yeah. So it is still going to require me to install a splitter. And of course it's a splitter on the other side of the belt. Okay, I think prisms are assembled. Double checking before I smash down a whole bunch of things. Yeah, they are. Yeah, of course that's on a meridian line. Why wouldn't it be? Yeah. It's just sort of a bit of an awkward spot. Cool. I really do need to automate that. Nope. I've put down the wrong blueprint. Back into the bag you go.
Replication complete.
So bunch of duplication of process here that I can probably justify just taking out. So yeah, this is not the most efficient of blueprints, but we work with what we've got. I have a better one. Yeah, that'll do. Does it work? I can probably rip out that power pole too. Yeah, a lot of these blueprints were put together with tier, like high tier components. So yeah, it's further on in the game when you're really looking to work at scale. So and these can just straight up come out. Watch me misclick and just rip out an entire assembler. Sure, there's a bit of wasted space here, but you know.
Research complete.
Okay, so now we've got integrated logistics system. So just a quick tutorial on how the autopilot works. It's basically like a splitter. Stuff goes in, and then rather than having one to a little cube sort of scenario, it'll have multiple. Yeah, in general, like I might make one for some of the like iron and mag rings and things like that over there, but it's not something I need to like worry about right now. Gee, I hope I've got enough titanium with the yellow science there. I don't think I do, so probably going to have to make a trip over to the titanium and silicon supply planet sooner rather than later. So, considering that this is on this side of the belt, yeah, I might have to make something that sort of like loops back around. Okay, and I am probably going to want to reproduce that production line at the same time. So, what that tells me is I'm going to need to put in a splitter right off the start. How does that change my perspective on how things go? And sort of, it's starting to get a bit messy over there. Alright, so let's go with the original plan. So, prism's out. Split it in. Of course, thank you so much. Love it. So yeah, I'm gonna have to have, actually there's a really convenient split point over here. Thanks, past me. I wonder if I've got enough room to go like that. Yeah. Cool. Don't think I'm wanting to spend that many belts right now. I am absolutely going to have to empty my inventory before I go, but right, let's get done what we gotta get done here. Okay, so it's a 2 item. go like that. Let's get some off the belt. I don't think we need that logistics distributor over here. We don't need that as well. So we're running belts for the rest of it, so I'm pretty happy with that.
Replication complete.
This is probably going to be a decision that ages badly, just hugging the wall like this, but... Okay, apparently I've got something that's not being output anywhere either, so... Right, let's hit reverse on that for a hot second. And go like this. Okay, I think that goes back to when I ripped out the magnet production over here. Let's go like that, and then run this around here. Making sure I don't accidentally cross over my supply lines, because that would really ruin my day. Seems to be a fairly constant refrain, but you do use quite a lot of these. They're components in drones, they're components in all manner of things. Okay, now we're cooking.
Upgrade
Close out.
complete.
Okay, that's great. So we got through that just fine. So, where do we want these going? So I think nothing else really uses these right now. But the other thing that they use is graphite. So I'm going to go back on what I said earlier
Insufficient
and
materials.
just put in a big depot. That's going to annoy me. Oh, anyhow. Let's go distributor, and then keep that up. Okay, this is the template with the bug in it. Okay, so I think we're broadly pretty done for now. There's no more belts being produced, and that's a problem. Basically means that whatever I've got on hand is what I've got. What is that? 50. So that's plenty of room to make a bit of a start. It's probably before time that we made the upgrade there as well. So let's pull that out real quick. Okay, right. So I don't need a big long, like 6-unit thing just for belts. But yeah. Let's see. Can that come out safely? Yeah, it can. But, I think belts are a 3-item assembly. No, it's only 2. That's nice. So do I have cogs coming past here at all? I think I had the cogs running on a distributor system. Yep. Got a nice convenient source of iron right nearby. Yeah. Okay, so with that in mind, this is all temporary, it's not sticking around. I'm going to preemptively scale it up, even though it's a little bit wasteful on power, which I notice has shut up fairly significantly since I went and made those little tweaks. Did I end up getting distro speed? Yeah, I don't think I have enough yellow science in storage to get that done either. Yeah, I've got 60, and we're out of titanium, so I'll have to go get some more. Cool, what are we doing here? I'm not sure I can thief off that belt without causing some problems. It's not even that it cause problems there. Let's see, what to do. So, open-ended 2-item. Do I go like that? Yeah, it shouldn't be such a difficult question, should it? Oh, again with the sorters. Will I never learn? No, I will not learn. Okay. Need assemblers too, so... Assemblers at least is a fairly quick fix. But let's go like this. Making belts. Cogs are coming to here. And we can just pull this straight out. As we can with that. second, but I do need more assemblers first, so...
Flight mode.
So I was gonna get much of that stuff. Yep, that's a problem for future me to deal with.
Replication complete.
It's not, though. I just chuck down a really simple free item. It doesn't have to be a high volume one, because it's not like yeah, sure. So construction and assembly materials are going over here for now. Get them all? Yep. Okay, so what are we missing here? Engines.
Flight mode.
Sorry, motors. Future me will thank me.
Replication complete.
Yeah, as much as problem for future me is kind of a meme at this point. At least now we've got the assembler. Yeah, and yeah, this is one of those areas where having just a really small scale like distribution sort of scenario. Actually, is there one already for iron? Maybe. Let's find out. Yep, cool. This is actually fine because I'm not looking to you know, produce 50,000 of these. I just need enough for immediate purposes. Even if it does tend to suck down the power a little bit. And as tempting as it might be to do the exact same thing with sorters, you use many more sorters and belts than you do with like assembly machines. Turn that on to distribute to and from. Okay, so I do want to do that on. Probably this side? Okay, so tier 2 belts are
Flight mode.
so do I want to run a belt for this? Probably not. I will have to move all of this at some point. Eventually it's going to end up going off-world, just because of how many of all of these constituent components you use. So, do a hybrid 50-50. So I can't get to it from there. That'll work. Right. Let's go. Let's go. You can do it. So, again, this one's coming out. And that can go too. Just plug the sucker in. Takes green motors. Beautiful. Okay. So, immediate problem solved. So, what am I going to do with all of this copper? We'll just run a dumping ground for it. Not really more or less worried about throughput anywhere in particular. So, go like that. Plenty of room. Put that in there. Let's see, what else can I kind of get rid of?
Flight mode.
Get rid of the prisms, to be honest. Yep. Riveting gameplay, I know. Jeez, that's a smidge slow. It's not worrying me enough to do anything about it right now. So, as much as I'm wanting to build up a decent bank of those, because that will become relevant. Yeah, once I get solar cell production up and running, I'll be able to refactor a whole heap of this factory. But the thing that's sort of like gating me off right now is power. So, and yeah, to that end, speaking of, just, pinch a whole heap of this copper, having successfully dumped a bunch of it into that into a chest over there. We'll make a whole bunch of copper munitions.
Flight mode.
So yeah, this is starting to build up pretty quick, and I'm not, incredibly comfortable with just running off with it being
complete.
at 80%, but at the same time I can't really do a lot until I start so let's see. So yeah, as these become a little bit more frequent, I'm basically going to have a assembler here set to extract only copper, and then have a production line running through here to resupply the turrets automatically. Just it's a way of automating that whole scenario away.
Flight mode.
So that's entirely full. Love that for all of us. Okay, that's silicon, not glass. Let's not confuse the two. That. Broadly pretty fine with how the rest of it's going. So let's see where we're at in terms of orbital favorability. Okay, so the hive's sort of in transit right now, so if I go directly there, I'll just run straight through the enemy base, and that will be a bad time. Ask me how I know that.
Flight mode.
I wonder what that's capped at. Yeah, cool. You see stuff numbering in the thousands, and you go, ooh, did I forget to put a production cap on that? Not in this case, no. Okay. How else am I feeling about what's going on here? So, yeah, now that all that's picked up a whole bunch, as well, we're killing time waiting for the orbital favorability to get a little bit better. Which I think is, I wonder if the planetary body's moving towards or away. Okay, away. Okay, I think that's about as good as we can get.
Cruise mode.
God, I've forgotten how much the Mario Galaxy music absolutely slaps. Just no notes. It's easily my favorite Mario game. It's not even close. No other games have Star Mum in them. You know, it's just absolutely delightful. It's a bit of a shame that it doesn't run better on Switch, to be honest, because of all the motion controls. That's about you know, if I was giving some notes to Nintendo, it would be basically that of make sure that you don't have quite like it be entirely reliant on being able to move the Wii controller over you know, star bits to have to pick them up. But yeah, should run a like a new file of Mario Galaxy on Patreon or something, which we'll get to that. Okay, it is my factory. Excellent. So how's this going? Okay, I think this is working out just fine. And planetary base isn't under threat, so okay. Of course, I'm fine with that just staying as is at the moment. Chuck some copper in like that. Yeah, sure. Do I have any circuit boards lying around that I'm happy to part with? Yep. Cool. Right, let's get back. The dark fog decides to ruin my day with something I'd never anticipated. Is yeah, if your power infrastructure isn't at least fairly robust, then suddenly you've got like the factory depowers itself the moment the defense system switches on. Not a good time for anyone. Yeah, there is a little bit of this like ferrying to and for, like to and from. Yeah, that one. I talk good. Yeah, at the moment, like the like recharge rate is really hampered by just the burn rate of the fuel I'm chucking on board. So still like power positive and all of that good stuff, and there's certainly more than a tank in there, but you know, when it's taking this much just to sort of get a single tank, so I've got an 800 megajoule tank now, then oh, I know why the power problems solved themselves. They stopped producing yellow science. Okay, so definitely power infrastructure day. Very deliberately not opening up the menu right now in case I overshoot. And yeah, then you just end up flying off into the distance, desperately trying to change directions, which also takes up power, and you don't have any because there's none in the tank, and yeah, it's a bad time. Okay.
Cruise ended.
So yeah, the sooner I can sort of take a little bit of pressure off this whole catastrophe, the better, to be honest. Pardon me, end up putting okay, that's probably where the diamond belt was supposed to end up, so good on me. Had a bit of a hectic week, if I'm being honest, so it's nice to be able to stop and relax with something fairly low stakes. Not nearly out of silicon, I don't think, so possibly could have afforded to leave that for a little bit longer, but we're here now, so let's stack another depot on top of that, just as a way of dealing with that little problem for a second. Go. Okay, so now we're back in business for yellow science. We got more than 60 produced. We like it. And what's happened to the power consumption? Yeah, nice little spike there. We'll start spiking even more once we do some actual research on it. So, so what are we going with next? So, I don't think it's anything combat related. It might end up being relevant a bit later, but might be infantry capacity. You get additional things that you can put in over here. So you get eventually another column, and I wonder if it's on this, taking this point or the next one. Yeah, it's on the next one. So, no, actually I might do mech frame. Yeah, that'll help burn power sources a little bit faster, but that doesn't really solve the problem of the energy source I'm using right now just isn't dense. Okay, so to get towards interstellar logistics, which is what we're actually aiming for, do need a point in that, which means we need high strength titanium alloy. So that'll be next. So now let's start building out the structure to start launching solar sails. So actually getting into the Dyson Sphere part of Dyson Sphere program. So we've got our pink little doodahs, whatever they're called, the photon combiners. But because that's kind of in the middle of everything, which I don't know, maybe it shouldn't be, but yeah, it'll get refactored when I move more towards planetary logistics as a as the main system that I'm using. that yeah, that'll get just like a lot more efficient. So, but for the time being,
Flight
so
mode.
we've got this whole like graphite assembly sort of scenario over here, which even though there's 1500 that's built up, it's still not going to last that long, all things considered. So now that I've started switching more stuff on, all the problems associated with that, yeah, it's a big game of whack-a-mole. I don't hate it. So let's get some solar cell production happening. So in terms of just all of the structures that are going to support that, I think I've already assembled something for EM ejectors. There's a building. I wonder if it'll show up here. I don't think it will. So, okay. So solar cells is a 2-item sort of product. Because I've got both of them on distributors, I can just chuck an object down. So, leaving a little bit more room for expansion of that and planetary storage if I feel like I need to. We'll probably build it... Oh, God, is that going to be too far out of the way? So I have to factor in logistics drone range as well. So yeah, I think we're going to end up putting it over here somewhere, which probably means... probably means foundations, but cost of doing business. There's again the sorters. So we don't. Motors being produced somewhere else, so I'll just... Ooh, that's not keeping up. What's the problem here? What do you call this? Come on. Cool. Where are they all going? Now I'm curious.
Cluster is launching an assault.
Okay, let's take a break from that and see how this is all going. So, there's a chance that the system might brown out. Don't think it's a high percentage chance, but I'd rather be here while all of that is happening. And if I switch on supernova mode, then there's a chance that that might just push it over the edge. So, okay. Oh, I think we're okay.
Supernova activate. Supernova activate.
Cool. Right.
Flight mode.
I can't really craft any, but yeah. Jeez, I might have to scale this up preemptively, maybe. So it's taking cogs. Right, what's holding you up? Okay, so it's... First protocol is just this.
Upgrade complete.
Okay, so that's over and done with. Okay, so it's the, so, oh, going a lot faster. Zoom. So, lots of belts. Yep. Looks like now we're cooking. Just replicate them over the short term.
Flight mode.
What else are we missing? solar cells. Won't let me put one down because the depot's not actually there yet. Cool. Works. Okay, and it was photon combiners and
Replication complete.
we have caps on that. Let's not maybe drain all of the components out of a circuit. And the other one was graphite. So cool. And likewise, don't need a big sucker full of those. It will consume them at a pretty steady rate, but
Flight mode.
so yeah, okay. So that was the thing that I wandered away from. Okay, so it's cogs, processors, 0 available routes because I haven't connected it up to a distributor yet. And these blue doodahs, turbines, magnets, and graphite. I think I probably had graphite production going on over here. I don't think I have it going on anywhere else, which I'm broadly pretty fine with, you know. This seems to be ticking along just fine. But it doesn't really solve the problem that eventually I'm gonna have to build this out as being its own thing. Right. Okay, so to do that, I need a whole bunch of drones. So, I don't think I automated thrust production either. Yeah, just running into all of these roadblocks. That's the game. So, automating thrust production. Yeah, it's this big game of like, but first. So, open-ended 2-item and split some copper off of there. Oh, do I? Kind of wanted to reserve this space for tier 3 belts. I don't think that's gonna. Oh, could though. Steel and copper. Okay, so considering that steel production's over here, it makes more sense to put it over here. Right, big belt network. Yeah. We've had fires near where I am, so there's this really lovely burning smell coming out of coming in through my front door right now. It's not the best. So, thrusters. Oh, yeah, and then we start running into problems with like scaling because all the processors are over there. Oh, I'm not loving it. So yeah, longer term, I guess it makes more sense to. Yeah. Okay. So. Just for the time being, just as a way of getting all of this stuff going, the assembler down here, and then just run belts directly. Yeah, that's it.
Fabrication complete.
Overall, when I was pocket crafting drones earlier, it was just the thrust production that was holding everything up more than anything else. Yeah, massive overkill there. Sort of copper split here. Yep. That will surely have a great effect on power. Is this one bug in it? Yep. Yeah, these just take absolutely ages to put together. Okay, and logistics drones are iron processors and thrusters.
Flight mode.
Yeah. Some nice riveting gameplay for the various people who
Flight
might be
mode.
watching right now. Just watching all of my previous decisions come back to bite me in nebulous and unforeseen ways, as is tradition. Got a feeling that this is going to end up being out of range, but won't know until we try. So suddenly all of these will start producing again. Excellent.
Flight mode. Pretty sure that will end up being a bit of a short-sighted move, but you know, gotta get on with it. Moment of truth. Yeah, out of range.
love to see it. But it will come within range at some point in the fairly near future. So, and thrusters. Blind.
Flight mode.
Okay.
Flight mode.
Yeah. The settings are pretty easy to mess up as well. So. Well, look, getting out of here pretty soon. It's kind of getting towards dinner time. Actually, that's as good a place to stop as any, I think. So, thanks everyone who stopped in. I really appreciate it. It's a nice short one today, and yeah. So, haven't made a lot of progress, all things considered, but I'm still pretty happy with the way everything's going and the general direction it's going. So, again, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.